All right, welcome to everyone. Tonight we are going to be working on drawing stuff, as you would can reasonably guess by this channel.
And painting stuff.
Yes. So I am going to be working on the next drawing for my character spotlight series that I've been doing.
And I am going to be painting this Horus Heresy model with this retro Rogue Trader paint scheme here.
Well, that sounds fun. Well, hopefully both of what we work on ends up looking really cool tonight. One thing I noticed is I have the wrong thumbnail.
Ah, if you need to take a moment to fix that, that's okay.
I will take it, but you go ahead and get started. Don't wait on me.
All right. While I wait for paint on this one to dry, I'll be painting up some other stuff too, including this Horus Heresy Praetor. So yeah, that's so there'll be plenty going on my end. And without further ado, let's make stuff happen. Some glue on this guy still needs to dry, but it's drying pretty well though.
Nothing like when Windows wants to take its sweet time rendering thumbnails.
Right. I think tonight is a good night to show off these acrylic paint markers. I've tried some out already and they're pretty good, although I did learn the hard way that there's a difference between regular fine point markers and artist fine point markers. So that is something I'll have to think about next time I shop for this stuff.
You
But
should you should tell people how it is you learned that lesson.
oh yeah, I bought it. I saw it. I was online shopping and I saw that I needed that they said fine tip. They were acrylic paint markers, so I put in the order. When they came here, started using them, and not so fine. Like, take a look at this guy, for example. Look at how thick those edge highlights are. That is how that is how I learned the lesson. And then I talked to Sam here, and he told me about the difference.
Yeah, definitely one of those you gotta know your tools type situations.
Yeah, definitely didn't know there was a difference until it was too late.
I think it's
But
probably safe to say that for most tools like that, there's going to be artist grade ones and then kind of generic ones as well.
got it. Well, either way, I am getting to this. I'm still making use of these. I'm painting in the black areas of this sky with this.
I am going to start. I wonder if people can even see the full thing I'm
No,
working on at the moment.
yeah, I guess I should open the stream on my end so I can not only see if it's viewable but what the chat says. Speaking of which, did you post it in social media?
I did not. Do you want to take care of that real quick?
Sure.
Thank you. Okay. Where do I want this line to be? Maybe about right there. Then I think I kind of want to face right here.
Such an inviting face for your thumbnail.
Thank you. It was all I had. It's been a little while since we've had a drawing stream, so it's kind of nice to be back.
Agreed. I am glad that we're able to do this.
That face still feels too zoomed in and too far over.
Don't need any volume on this. There we go.
Unfortunately, it looks like
Okay,
Blackheart's not
well, that all
going
that's
to be
been
able to
taken
join us
care of.
tonight.
Get back to what I'm doing. Accidentally got some paint on me, but that's the nature of this hobby.
What model are you painting?
Almost done drawing, then I
And
can
why is your thing not showing again?
paint the other parts. So for a base, I'm going to be using this metallic pink here because I came across a painting video of painting some imperial fists, and a good tip base mentioned about painting yellow is having a base of pink or red underneath. So this metallic pink will make for a good base because the original Salamander's color scheme here is mostly yellow. So, not a color scheme I would have associated with the Salamanders, but looking at all those line patterns, it evokes actual salamanders you may see at the side of a pond or river.
That sounds like it'll be a fun. That thing does look really cool.
Use this some more. Now that's in.
We got the 3D printer up and running again as well, so hopefully in the near future you can, you or we, can paint some 3D printed stuff on stream. Okay.
And for those of you who are into Inktober/Orktober, my Inkto/Orktober thing will be ready before the night is over. So rest assured it will be coming in.
So I am working on the next.
Okay, I'll give that a second dry. Then I'll apply the main base for that.
I've been working on my character
Till
spotlights,
then,
and so my next is the next
I
character
can
spotlight.
apply some basing here. This beaky head's mostly based as is with red because I want to make sure the eyes were in, but looking at the reference, the eyes are actually not going to end up red. They're actually going to be what looks like a gray with a yellow dot in the middle. That's something you don't really see in Space Marine helmets. It's like a pupil in the middle. Oh, I guess that's old school 40K for you. You still there, Sam?
Yeah, can you still hear me? Hello? That's weird. Hello? Is my sound coming through over here?
Either he's gone to check on something or he's having some connection issues. Not sure which.
So can you not hear me?
I'll send him a message just to make sure. get under that chin. Yeah, I think that'll do for now. Okay, you can hear me. So I guess the stream's all me for the time being. Okay. Let's check the progress of the paint here.
Let's see.
Give that a little longer to dry before I move on. Until then, let's look at this Creator. I'm working on getting the gold parts of his paint job done, so I'll be using an actual brush now.
Why wouldn't he be able to hear us?
Use some gold paint mixed with a little yellow. Maybe a little messy at parts, but but I'm hoping to clean that up some.
Trying to get his attention. This armor is a little different. It's going to be really hard to communicate this well. One of the challenges with the requests people make is they have like this really cool armor, but then they want like the character staring out into the distance, for example, and showing off the scenery around them. So the challenge that you face there is
Gold. Yeah, I'll definitely have to do some touching up with green later, but that's okay. Still working to get to get a good point on my brush as I work, but yeah, I still make it work for me somehow. This is definitely proven to be one of my favorite brushes.
let's see. You can't really see his ear on this side, it looks like. If we come over here, yeah, that ear is pretty well hidden. That's really weird. I still don't like this. Very, like, the positioning of the head is fine, but it's the scale of it that I don't like. Okay. Bust out some of these darker lines, try to start making some sense of some stuff. So I will keep working on this. Does that connect? Hello? Hello?
Well, one second, my sound's off. I can't. Look, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I'm gonna check the stream.
Can you hear me?
Wrong video. Okay, it looks like your side of the stream's working again.
Can you hear me?
No, 1 second. It does. Oh, come on. Stop.
Let's see.
Yes, I can hear you on the stream. Yeah, looks like most of the issue is just that my browser needed updating.
Can you hear me in the Google Meet window though, or do you only hear me in the stream?
Yeah, I hear you in the Google Meet window. That's where I'm hearing you now.
Okay, good.
Okay,
Gotta
so
keep them browsers up to date.
Yeah, I tend to ignore those kinds of things on this laptop.
Yeah, I wouldn't ignore them anywhere personally.
I don't do it on purpose. It's just kind
Is
of
it more
how
just
it
because you
happens.
don't use it super frequently anymore?
Right, exactly. Okay. Gotta try and get as much off this brush so I can move back on to the piece I really want to get to tonight.
Blackheart's reference is awesome. However, he's got his character doing this cool pose and I can't even clearly see the face. So I'm looking at one place to reference the face, which is his lodestone profile, and then trying to reference the armor as best as I can in his photo because he's got different armor in photo. So we're going to make this work the best that we can.
Got it. Okay, let's check this guy out. Looks like the paint's dried. Good. So now, use this metallic marker, this metallic pink here, and add in the base coat.
Pauldrons are such interesting things to draw. And his don't actually go up like that. I'm so used to drawing the more like bam in your face World of Warcraft pauldrons that whenever I go to draw the pauldrons in this game, I always forget that they don't stick up nearly as much.
Yeah, World of Warcraft, it definitely has a style. It's all its own.
It does. And I think that's honestly probably one of its selling points is its aesthetic.
I would agree with that.
Where did I put my phone down? Ah, there it is. Okay. That's going to be like, hopefully an alarm doesn't go off later to broadcast where it is. Blackheart is here.
Oh, hello, Blackheart. Glad to have you on stream.
Yeah, sorry we didn't get to play Baldur's Gate tonight. But he dozed off.
Well, sometimes you just need a nap.
Welcome, Hollow, as well.
Glad to have you on stream, Hollow.
So what I'm doing tonight is I'm going to do just like the drawing of the Blackheart image. So this is going to be like the long drawing version of it, and then I'm going to condense it down and release the actual like character spotlight video on Monday.
Yes, and what I'm doing, I'm painting this Mark VI Space Marine up like this old rogue trader salamander here, where the paint scheme actually reflects real-world salamanders that you find at the side of a pond or a lake. And I had learned that pink makes a good base coat for yellow. Yeah, so the backstory for this salamander is this guy has been around since before Vulcan was first discovered, and they were called the Fire Drakes. And he's refused to update the color scheme of his armor, and even talks like an old man despite the fact that Space Marines don't age.
Kind of like back in my day, we didn't paint ourselves green like cartoon salamanders. We painted ourselves like actual salamanders, and we wore that bright yellow to battle, uphill both ways.
But Sir, salamanders are green on Nocturne. Not those salamanders, the kind that were on Old Terra. Have you not seen the Hollow vids? I have not, sir. What do you kids watch these days?
I think it's going to be funny to have that character. You should have like an actual bio for him and everything.
Oh, I'm going to have a lot of fun with this.
I want to run a Deathwatch game with that guy as an NPC.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, we have the 3D printer running, and I found a cool STL for putting over existing pauldrons, the Deathwatch pauldron.
You got a question from Hollow.
Oh. For the salamander topic, are you going to make a whole squad of that paint scheme or just this one? For now, just this one. But that is an excellent idea, doing a whole squad of just this paint scheme. Maybe down the road this guy will find his old battle brothers and he's like, I haven't seen you guys since the heresy. Yeah, so that is an excellent idea. That will be a goal for next year.
All right, how do I want to handle this other leg? Maybe just something like that. So I decided to go with more of a manga style approach for this drawing, because I wanted to be able to both show the character kind of staring off at the distance, or in the distance, but also show the scene around him. And so it won't be colored quite in the same level of detail as the Destiny 2 character was, but it's gonna focus more on like the inks and the black and white, and then have some more simple manga style shading.
That sounds like a good approach.
So at the moment I'm just trying to sketch out the composition.
Okay. This guy's gonna need to dry a bit before I start applying the yellow. So while he's drying, I'll work on my Praetor again. Okay, what else do I need to pick out in gold? Get this edge picked out here.
Dark Knights have
Oh yeah,
such
for
cool
those
armor.
of you who don't know, Games Workshop is putting out for a limited time a print-on-demand copies of the original Rogue Trader of for Warhammer 40k, first edition itself.
So we're both hoping to get copies of that.
Yeah, so it should go up on this Saturday at the earliest, and they'll stop accepting orders on the 28th. So, for those of you interested, that's something to keep an eye on. Yeah, I watched a video recently about the old lore from that book, and it it was something else.
Was
It's like,
that the Eons of Battle one where he was talking about the stuff in that one?
no, it wasn't Eons of Battle. It was some other YouTuber who I think talks more on the lore rather than the minis. I think the video is titled "First Edition Lore was weird or crazy," something to that effect.
I know Eons of Battle had a video kind of like that as well, where he was talking about the lore.
Yeah, yeah. Now I know where the squats came from, now known as the Leagues of Votan.
Let's see. I can't decide to put some mountains back in this background or just more like a field. I think I'm gonna go try for a field first.
I applied the
very
paint a
rough
little thick on the
perspective.
shoulder, but oh
Yeah.
well. I'll just say he had to weld that part of the pauldron in very, very roughly.
They are called squats.
Yes.
That's what Hollow said in the chat.
Right. Yeah, so they kind of brought them back, but they were revamped into the Leagues of Votan. So they are back, yet they're not back at the same time.
Maybe I'll put a cliff or something out here just a little further. But I didn't want to put a cliff right there, right in front of him. Because I wanted to be able to show off more trees.
God, respect those trees.
I
Don't
mean,
want to anger Smokey the Bear.
or Smokey the Penguin.
Right.
Topic for another time.
Exactly. Okay.
Long story
It's
short,
time.
Joseph and I collect stuffed penguins, and I've got one named Smokey.
Well, if I were painting a child of the Emperor, this guy's paint is perfect. But I am not painting a child of the Emperor, so here we go. Should probably load up on some actual yellow paint, though.
Right, let's switch to a pencil and keep going.
And mix in some of this one.
Okay, so as we established, you can't really see Blackheart's ear on this side because he's got so much hair.
There. To get this excess off directly on the model. That looks like a good consistency of yellow.
I should consider making a another layer at some point.
Oh, you mean for the drawing?
Yes, I am all on one layer at the moment.
Yeah, that would be good.
Okay, and so I know from speaking with him that Blackheart is a little bit older.
He's seen things.
That's an understatement. Do something about these eyes so that they're not simply these beads.
Yeah. So Hollow says he's trying to start a Phyrexian tribal deck at the moment. Tribal means the deck
Phyrexian.
Phyrexian, yeah. The deck focuses on one central creature type, by the way.
That sounds like a fun deck.
Have not definitely not worked with this much yellow on a model before.
Blackheart says, yeah, he's up there, mid 40s.
Ah.
So we'll just need to add some lines and stuff to his face to show some age.
Yeah, this guy's definitely gonna need some more layers of yellow before he's done.
One of these nights, maybe we can have Blackheart on and he can actually dig into the lore of his character a little bit.
That would be nice.
Long term,
I
one thing
know.
I'm hoping to do for my channel is to have like an actual player interview series.
Oh, that sounds pretty great.
I'd like to allow people to dig more into the lore of their characters than the what I'm able to get at the moment with the character spotlight videos.
Right. That that would be pretty nice. I'm excited for mine afterwards.
Well, at the moment, yours is up next. We don't have any other submissions yet.
Right. Well, maybe we can ask family and friends for submissions.
I'd rather start digging around in the communities to try to get them.
Right.
Family and friends isn't bad, but if they're not invested in the game or they're not gamers, uh, be it like an MMORPG or a slight business talk for a moment, but there's a thing called target audience, and while
Mm-hmm.
doing things for family and friends are cool, I don't think they would have the same interest in it as someone who is from the target audience. In this case, people who care a lot about their characters and invest a lot of time in them.
Right.
So I want people who the characters are really important to them, and they really have things to say about their characters, because otherwise it's going to be like these kind of half-hearted entries.
I understand. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, he's gonna have to wait for his layer to dry. Definitely gonna need that extra layer. Okay,
Blackheart's like, only said he's up there, lol, or laughing out loud. And I'm like, oh, if mid 40s are up there, that makes me feel a little old, because I'm like year and a half, 2 years away from being 40.
Yeah, I'm 5 years away.
I'd say Blackheart's probably in the neighborhood of 4 years away.
Yeah.
I
Point
don't really know
being,
how old Hollow is, but if I had to guess, I would say mid to late teens. Unless he's in college. But I know he talks about classes, and so I'm not sure. And no, Hollow, you don't have to reveal any information you don't want to. Any teaser on what Joseph's submission is?
Yes, a teaser. Like, have any of you seen a video from a series called Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged? Well, there's this one clip I found from it where evil Merrick his progress is hindered by a door.
That's such a funny little scene.
Yeah, so essentially I made a character who has similar hangups about a door as evil Merrick does. So there is your teaser.
He says he's a little older.
Yeah, but he does appreciate the young yes.
You know, it's hard to gauge these days.
Yeah.
So I believe he still lives. It is not my place to share too much information about um, Hollow, but I only know so much. I think he still lives with his parents. He can correct me if I'm wrong, but like back when I was younger, it's like it felt like your parents are trying to get you out as quickly as possible, and so it's like it's hard to gauge now because people like the world's
Being
more
home
expensive
longer.
than it used to be, and so people they stay home longer because it's so much harder to get out on your own. I mean, as it was, it took me like 4 or 5 tries before I finally pulled it off. That was several years ago. But we're one thing I know is Hollow has been very good about coming and hanging out with us, and we are both grateful for that.
Yes, I've always been grateful for Hollow's continued support.
Blackheart says he'll be 38 in 3 days.
Well, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, congratulations. Happy birthday with salutations. Happy birthday, may your sky stay blue. Happy birthday to you.
If you're not careful, you're going to end up singing happy birthday to everyone on their birthdays.
Worst things could happen.
Well, as long as you don't mind.
No, I don't feel like I mind.
Oh, there you go, Blackheart. You get to be the first person to have happy birthday sung to you on the channel. You know, I don't want this to be perfectly level like that. He says at least he's avoiding copyright. Hollow said that.
Yeah.
Where did you get that birthday song from, anyways?
Metal Gear Solid 5.
Ah. So you're avoiding copyright by singing it yourself.
Yes. I wonder if they came up with that song to avoid copyright themselves. Because yeah, there's one part in that game I know from watching other people experience it is on your you put your birthday in when playing the game, or it reads where you put it in your like console profile, and it will on your actual birthday that you'll be called back to base, and when you go back on that day they sing you that song presenting you with a cake.
That's awesome. I like drawing trees.
Yes. Trees can be pretty nice.
There's just something very satisfying about drawing trees.
For sure. Okay, this guy's still drying.
I like this pencil brush that I made. I don't know when I made it. A year ago now.
Pencil brush? Oh, in the, I was
In
thinking
Clip Studio.
literally. Yeah, I was thinking too literally.
So it's grainy like a pencil, but goes down like an ink brush.
Got it. Pretty soon I'll be ready to glue this guy's head to his body.
I need to look
But
up
yeah,
some
as
of
far as the
Sherry.
brush is concerned, I really like the way it looks.
I don't know when I made this one.
This little spot here is being a little stubborn. No, I think that'll do it. Okay.
Funny enough, I call it the one true pencil.
That is pretty funny.
But I like it because I can just slap in shadows here, get thin lines there.
Yeah. I like being able to do that with actual pencils, so it's an apt name for it.
It's one of the nice things about working digitally. You kind of condense all your tools down into a single one.
Yeah. That's something I've definitely enjoyed about owning my iPad.
All right, cherry blossoms. Because unless I get some references, these are not going to look anything like them. Okay, so cherry blossoms actually sit low on the tree. My leaves all at the moment are all high. So let's bring those down to about here. That means this one's going to come down to about here.
Now I need to look to my creator reference.
I'll leave that one up a little. I'll do that. Okay, what is the shortcut for that key? There we go. I'm so used to hitting B to go back to like paintbrush that I keep hitting it, but it goes to Clip Studio's paintbrush, and I have a separate shortcut for mine, which is V. Don't ask me why, I couldn't tell you. But I keep hitting B, and it's like, that's not my brush.
Yeah. Such is the way of things at times.
I think these trees hanging lower like this is going to be nice as well, because I can focus more on the petals floating through the air.
Yeah.
All right, I like this composition. The sun would be coming from back over here somewhere. Maybe up here, I'm not entirely sure. So this have a shadow going about right here. Shadow going about right here. Shadow, shadow, shadow. All of these feel like, in these reference photos, they've got like smooth, clean grass around the cherry blossoms, so I won't muck it up too much, even though these are more kind of wild growing cherry blossoms in this one that I'm drawing.
Yeah, sometimes domesticated ones just aren't gonna cut it.
Looks like Blackheart's got something under his like a scar or something under his right eye. Can't tell from the photos if that's on both sides or not because he's got a mask covering up. Okay, so he does have that mask kind of going across like that.
I'll go back to the
Okay,
wrong tab.
time to make a new layer.
Is it? Oh, there it is.
Drop that one down.
Ah, I see. I see.
And I'm going to
Okay.
ink with a, correct, one side. I'm going to ink with a not quite black color. Blackheart, the Dark Knight has a little bit more kind of silver or a purpley feel. So what if we ink with the slight, instead of pure black, more like a really dark purple?
Ah. This guy's almost ready for his next layer. What about this? Almost ready to attach this guy's cape. Where's his head? Okay, good. Check the reference for this for the sides of this guy's head.
This is facial hair, so I'm going to try to make it look like facial hair. The one thing I wish is your model was a little easier to see, but I can still kind of see it.
Yeah, I do struggle with getting the settings down for it.
Well, and you're kind of like using the OBS virtual cam at the moment as well.
I am.
Because isn't that like we're watching your camera?
I'm not using OBS.
Well,
It's straight from the Hangouts.
oh, sorry. But the point is we're watching like you through Hangouts is how we're watching your camera. So there's only so
That
much
is-
you can do with it.
Right.
Yeah, so for anyone who doesn't realize, the way we're watching Joseph on stream is he and I are currently in a Google Hangout together, and you are looking at his webcam in the Google Hangouts window.
Hey. This. Okay. Just need to paint some blackish details. And then I can attach this guy's cape to him. Where's my brush? There it is. Okay.
Let's pull that to center. Okay, I wonder if I can switch which active window I'm currently showing for OBS. Because I'm like zooming in on my piece now. I think people would probably prefer to see that. Whoa. Too big. I switched the window I was targeting and it completely
Overdid it.
yeah, went over the one that you were wearing, doing, so we couldn't even see what you're working on anymore.
Ah. Well, I think it is time to attach this guy's cape.
Alright, we'll do something like that.
Okay, let's see what you got.
It's just updating the layout.
Okay. All right, so let's pull out the Gorilla Glue.
We call that a dramatic close-up, Blackheart says. Yes, yes we do.
Okay, let's get this in here. No, 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 not there.
So
Not there.
Blackheart and I had talked about it a little beforehand. So instead of like him smiling, we're going for more of just kind of a solemn expression,
Ah,
because he doesn't always smile because of some of the stuff that he's been through.
I see.
But he can still find just kind of peace in the moment.
Got it. Definitely gonna have to retouch some stuff up on this guy's cape. But at least it's on him now.
Actually, I don't think I want to do that one. I think I'll leave it like that. I just accidentally selected everything. Don't do that. Okay.
I think it's also time to get the creator's head on him. Let's just do a quick test fit.
Is that one of the ones from your
Yes, from my Age of Darkness box. I'm working on him while I'm waiting for this guy's paint to dry. They're both
Got
from
it.
the same box set. Oh, this guy's almost done. So once I get his head glued on, I'll get to him.
I like the idea of you having that funky colored guy.
It was just such a treat to wake up to that this morning. I was just waking up out of bed, looking at YouTube like I usually do, and I see that, and I'm like, "What the?" So, because of the official Warhammer YouTube channel put it up, so I looked at it and I was like, "That's how they used to look." And then I just thought, I have to have one of them painted up like that now, and it has to be a beaky.
And the preview had a beaky as well, right?
Yes, the preview was a beaky. Though it was a modern, it was a 40K beaky, I think a veteran, like a veteran Marine. So I think most of his armor was Primaris, although the head was a beaky.
Got it.
Yeah,
In the one that they showed.
yeah, and the one they painted up in the video, yeah. But yeah, I wanted my guy to be absolutely refusing to ever update his armor. Also got his axe here. This needs a little more work, but it's more or less ready.
So Blackheart says he does smile, but it's usually from like being in battle or like a bloodlust type thing. So it's not
Ah,
usually a good thing.
so it's more like you better run if he smiles.
Yeah, you better hightail it on out of there.
Like, yeah, dodge.
Dodge, what if he's a Ford guy or Toyota?
You need to brush up on your Western lore.
I know what the saying is.
Ah, okay. But
You need to be more receptive to dad jokes.
yeah, I do. I need to work on that.
That'll be the statement to remember for the stream. You need to be more receptive to dad jokes.
Yeah, they do help make life better. So there's no need to always groan at them.
Okay, I like how this is coming along.
Yeah, that's coming along pretty well. Hello, Shadow Zeke09. Glad to have
Shadow
you on.
Zach.
Shadow Zach. Yeah, thank you.
Welcome. Glad you could join us. We're working on two different projects at the same time.
Yeah. One is a drawing thing for a thing he does on this channel. And for me, it's working on a Warhammer Porous Heresy model.
Okay. Maybe I should consider doing a book of the week in the future if I'm gonna. Anytime I do an art stream.
That's not a bad idea. You were the one who talked me into doing it on my channel, after all.
That's true.
And I have been enjoying my books of the week.
Unofficial book
And
of the week. I got a couple omnibuses in the mail. One of the things Joseph and I were talking about earlier is comic publishers have started releasing. So you used to have to buy like either individual issues or sets of graphic novels. Like the graphic novels would collect 5 to 7 issues or something like that. Pardon.
yeah,
But in the last few years, they've started releasing omnibuses, which are like 900 pages, 1,000 pages, and it just collects an entire comic storyline in a single book.
or as much of said storyline as the volume can contain.
Exactly. And so it's been nice because there's a lot of like uh, Batman and Ninja Turtles, for example. It was just one storyline. Generally, stories like that take place in alternate universes as well. And so
Right.
I was able to just grab the omnibus.
Yeah. It's like before I've been collecting volumes like this one, this being last week's book of the week. But as of a few years ago, DC started releasing the Golden Age stuff in their own omnibuses. So one of these days I hope to pick those up.
But yeah, and then the other one I picked up was Superior Spider-Man. Uh, Anyone who doesn't know what the Superior Spider-Man was, it was a point where Otto Octavius was dying. He had cancer or something else. He was terminal, and he figured out a way to switch his mind with Spider-Man's. And so it was like for a year or so in the comics, they ended Amazing Spider-Man and instead had Superior Spider-Man, which was Otto Octavius inside of Peter Parker's body. And it was a pretty solid storyline. I really enjoyed it. But
Yeah, me
they had some
too.
good artists on it as well.
Yeah. They even had a spin off where he teamed up with other Marvel heroes.
And it's funny because there a lot of them are like, Spidey, why are you acting different?
Yeah, it's fun to. And you can tell he's still, even though he's trying to do the right thing all the time, he still thinks like a supervillain, which served him pretty well as a hero.
They are starting up a new Superior Spider-Man series.
I don't know how to feel about that.
I don't either, but we'll see. It has the
Yeah,
potential to be good, so let's hope that it'll be good.
yeah, I'll cross my fingers.
Right, I need to put some streaks of white in this guy's hair. It was a pretty cool story. I really liked it. So if you're at all interested in just kind of Spider-Man stories that are a little different, I definitely would recommend checking that one out.
I recommend it as well. It's worth your time. The yellow paint I'm using is definitely taking its time to dry, but that's okay. Okay, let's see what the color of the hilt is
So,
on
if
the
you look at what I'm
reference.
working on real quick, it might take a second if you're looking at the stream window. See the texture this pencil that I made gives when you use it on top of black?
Oh, that
It's
is a pretty
just kind
nice
of this cool
texture.
grainy texture that's really nice. I really like it.
Yeah, looks pretty great.
I really like it when I'm doing things like hair because it gives the illusion that there's more strands of hair simply
Ah,
because of the texture of the
I think
brush.
yeah, I think I've done similar things in some of my art. Okay, it's black hilt. So I'm already well on my way with that. I hope I can at least start on the black stripe details before this stream ends.
To talk about the other omnibus real quick, I don't know the story of Batman and Ninja Turtles, but I'm looking forward to reading that one and finding out.
Yeah. They did make an animated movie of that, which was a welcome surprise.
I own it, I just haven't watched it yet.
Ah,
Maybe one of these nights when we're not streaming, we can watch it and then report back on it.
yeah, maybe it could make for a good review video.
Go back the other way with, whoops, the darker brush. Get some of those shadows back in there. And I think that's his hair. His hair is done. Okay.
Good. Very good.
Now to work on this armor.
Okay.
I gotta say, the picture you submitted, Blackheart, makes the armor really hard to see.
Okay, the skulls are also silver. Okay. Knocked that out earlier had I paid more attention to my reference.
Okay, it looks like he's kind of got this going on like this towards the center of his chest. Yeah, the pose is absolutely awesome in the photo that Blackheart submitted, but I can't make out a lot of the details. Let's zoom in a little bit and see what we can make out. Okay. Man, that is some really cool looking armor. It actually kind of reminds me of the Phyrexian stuff Hollows described, because it's got like this red veiny thing right in the middle of the armor.
Ah, that is pretty nice.
And then almost this kind of carapace looking thing reaching over it.
Hmm. Working on this guy a lot more than I planned on tonight. Okay. Let's check
Hey
out
Hollow,
this.
how's your schedule looking? If we were to start up a new RPG, would you have time to join as a character or a player? Starting to feel them urges to start up another campaign.
Oh, yes. Speaking of which, who will be dungeon mastering next time?
Good question.
It's like I know Blackheart Art has only been a player. I don't know if he'd be interested in game mastering.
I mean, if he wants to, he's welcome to speak up, and we can definitely have him take a crack at it.
Yes. Don't want him to feel left out in that regard. I've never used this one before.
Time zone differences are a huge pain.
Oh, that's purple.
But I think generally we're pretty flexible. I feel like Hollow's schedule is probably going to be the
Easiest to work with.
I say the hardest to work around. So probably what we need to do is figure out a time that works for him, and then we work around that.
Got it.
Blackheart says he's not really good at DMing. That's fine. You don't have to. We just at least wanted to give you the opportunity to do so if you desired.
Yeah, so the invitation will always be open. So I guess in that regard, I'll be DMing next.
You want to DM next?
Yeah, since you DM'd last time.
All right, that works for me. I was thinking maybe we could do Dragon's Bane this next time.
Sounds good to me.
Either that or we could just go straight up like 5th edition. Keep it super simple.
I don't think we've done 5th edition on the channel.
Don't think so either.
Yeah. I do know 5th edition is definitely meshes well with my GMing style.
Well, if we want to do 5th edition, I'm okay with that.
Okay. We'll definitely schedule things in as time progresses.
Yeah, we'll talk more about it in the RPG channel, but is usually good on Saturdays. That's when I have a day off, except for the one Saturday every 3 weeks. One Saturday. We could try Saturdays.
Yeah, I can see Saturdays working.
I would not be opposed to that. I got Rhett and Link songs stuck in my head at the moment. My oldest has been playing them, and so they're just like really stuck in my head.
Those sorts of things happen. Still not dry yet. Yep. Working with yellow to this extent is definitely a learning experience for me.
Yellow's a strong color. It definitely takes some control.
Yeah, this guy's paint to dry. Guess I can work on his head at least.
Hello says, usually Mondays are a no for me since I'm a huge procrastinator and that's when I do my homework. Mondays are when it's due. So I stream on Tuesdays now anyways. So Monday wouldn't work for me either. But yeah, I'm up for Saturdays if that works good. I think the hardest one there would be Blackheart. So if we could earlier in the day Saturday, that'd probably work fine, because I know Saturday is not a day off for Blackheart.
Now His head needs to dry.
Okay, let's see. I'm just gonna shadow that part in.
Guess this guy could use some more gold layers in his middle.
Saturdays are typically when my friends and I play Magic, whether it be drafting or playing Commander online. That's usually super late at night. Well, I'm up for Saturdays if you decide you want to. We can aim for Saturdays. Blackheart, how would that work for you? Like, or earlier in the day on Saturday?
Okay, the piping detail is black. Oh, bother.
Did you say, oh bother?
Yeah, I got some black where I didn't want it.
There's that Winnie the Pooh influence.
Yeah, helps me have a good vocabulary.
I know I've said that myself on a few occasions. Welcome to Multi-Wolf.
Greetings, Multi-Wolf.
Glad you could join us. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. Yeah, sometimes we will get on here and try to do these like double streams where we'll work on two different things at the same time.
Yeah, it is quite the experience.
How big can I? Well, it's nice to meet another person who enjoys Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, it's always a welcome thing. It's always a welcome thing to meet someone who enjoys it.
One of the things I used to do regularly on this channel was, well, semi-regularly, is I was doing a playtest for an RPG I was working on, but I have so little time to update the rules. We just started playing more standard role-playing systems, though I would like to get back to the playtests at some point. But yeah, so what we're working on now is I started a series of YouTube videos on this channel that I call character spotlights. And so what I do is I have a Google form that people can fill out with character information, and so they can submit a character, and then I select from the characters that are submitted, and then I draw those characters while also telling the stories about it that the people submit, or the submitters submit. And so tonight what I'm doing is I'm actually working on one of the characters for the next video that's going to come out hopefully next Monday, if nothing happens. And so this is that character, and people can go to samueldraws.com and submit their own characters. It's role-playing game characters, whether it's like an online role-playing game or like Dungeons and Dragons, or like some tabletop system. It's like the last one we did was a Destiny 2 character. Tonight we're working on a Final Fantasy 14 character, and then next time I'll be drawing was it a Pathfinder 2nd edition character?
Yes, it was.
Okay, so he's kind of got this cool thing coming around over here. So yeah, if you'd like to get your character drawn, please subscribe to the channel and go to samueldraws.com and submit. And then I will look through the form. Nice thing right now is the channel is young, so there's just very few submissions, so the chances of getting selected are very high.
Okay.
Hollow's like, ooh, another hint, because I talked about your character for a second.
Oh, yeah, that is definitely a hint. He was a Pathfinder 2E character. My first one, actually. I've only played once before, but unfortunately that game didn't kick off.
That was a fun game.
It was.
What did I play as in that one?
A gnome.
That's right.
Like, your character was the only character who knew about my character and could explain to everyone else's eccentricities.
Yeah, our character. So you had an. I'm trying to like drop hints without giving too many spoilers. Joseph's character was a little bit of an oddball, and so my character was familiar with him, and so was able to kind of help him communicate. There's another hint for you, Hollow. Okay, I'm gonna kind of just partially silhouette this shoulder over here. Just because the details are kind of hard to make out from the photos. So I don't want to spend a ton of time trying to decipher them. I want to focus on the story that is kind of being told in this image.
I see. Now what? I'll check the status of that guy. Then
Oops.
I think it is time to do some freehanding.
Is this when those markers are getting pulled out?
Yes, I'm going to pull out two different white markers. The artist fine tip and the casual fine tip white markers.
So he found these acrylic markers that he is using to freehand the different details on the Space Marines. So this is definitely not as like manga-y as I was going for, because I keep pulling out like different paint brushes to slap in different ink textures and things like that.
Okay.
That's all right. I'd rather have fun instead of make it like perfectly look like a manga piece. It'll still feel manga enough by the time I'm done with it. Okay, let's zoom out and see where we are with this part of the image. I like how it's coming along. That shoulder's a little small though. I think it needs
Let's
to
see
get
if I can get the
beefed up just a little.
get some focus on this sigil. Definitely need some more layers before it's done.
So this is going to have to come down like this, and that's going to come back something like that.
Yeah, the sigil's coming out pretty well. let it dry a bit before I finish it up.
That is coming out nicely, though. It was kind of hard to see because the camera went out of focus for a bit while you were working on it, and then it came back into focus afterwards, and it was almost like now there's not a sigil, and now there is.
Right. Yeah. I'll try and finish this axe so I can glue it to the guy. Okay, back to my reference.
All right, let's go back to the pencil so we can just slap down texture.
Okay.
Okay, and then back to the more refined drawing tool.
There we go.
There we go. Still missing something up in his hair. Make it just a tad bit more on the wild side. Okay, that feels better.
Now I need to let that dry, then I can glue it onto him.
Okay, let's work on this chest section a little bit. Maybe it's about time I made a new layer too.
Sounds like it.
There's something fun about like just blobbing down textures and then carving back into them. Sometimes I try to be careful around the textures, and other time it's like, nope, I'm just going to cut right back into it anyways.
I can understand that.
Because if you look at what I'm doing on this guy's chest area, it's just a big old kind of blobby mess.
Yeah, it is. Will you be showing the reference picture in your video? Unholy asks.
I'll be showing it in the final video, yes. Like the one that I make and release on Monday, I will be showing the reference image that you submitted there. I did that in Hollow's video as well. So one of the things I want to do is I want people to be able to see like this is the actual character that we are interpreting in this drawing. Some will definitely come out better than others, but I want people to be able to see that like this is kind of my interpretation of the vision of what the character is, and then the when I show the photo that was actually submitted, it's like, and this is how, in this case, Blackheart put the character together. This is his envisioning of the character. And so it's like, because I want, it's a player spotlight, and so I want the first and foremost people to be able to see this is so and so's character as they envision it. And now let's take a look at how I'm kind of envisioning it in this drawing. Does that make sense?
Does to me, at least. Okay. Time for another layer of yellow. Man, this guy's tape needs plenty of layers. but the pink
Excellent.
undercoat is definitely working well with this.
Yeah, I'd say one of the downsides of being like an early submitter. So there's definitely a trade-off to being an early submitter to get your character drawn. One, the chances of getting your character go are drastically up because there's only so many submissions. And so, like, if I'm like getting one submission a week, that's like a guaranteed you're going to get selected. But as we get more people submitting, sorry, the downside I would say, at least to me, is my skill level at interpreting the characters is not as high as it might be if you waited a year or so. But
Though I
there's also, like, you may never get selected if you wait that long because hopefully I'll have like lots of submissions regularly by that point.
Though on the flip side, you can say you have a piece of art from his early days before he really got that good.
That's true. So if you can't tell, I have long-term hopes for the channel.
It's always good to have long term goals and hopes. Yeah. Yellow's coming along pretty well.
But yeah, I definitely would not hold off. Like if someone wants their character submitted, please submit it sooner or later, and I will do my or sooner than later, and I will do my absolute best uh, to draw the character. If you do go to samueldraws.com and submit the form, then one of the things you'll notice is there's questions about the characters. Blackheart says, "I hope it grows, and I'm willing to help it along as much as I can." Well, I will very much welcome the help that I can get. So what was I saying? I forget. Oh, there's questions on the form. And my hope is that people, uh, especially over time, will get more thorough with the details that they provide about the character, because it's almost like an interview. Like this is your chance to tell your story about your character. And so when I go to tell people about the character, the more information I have about the character, like the more detailed the questions get answered, the more I can share with everyone. Like, this is so and so's character, this is why the character is important to them, this is their favorite memory playing the character. We might have to call it in the near future. Either that or I need to switch hands because my right hand is starting to hurt. You know what? I did train the other hand, so I should just switch in a bit. I think what I'll do is we're going to take a break here in a bit. Bio break.
Okay.
And then when I come
Coming
back
at a
from
good
that,
time. I'm about to attach his final two body parts.
I think when I come back from that, then I'll switch to left hand.
Well, that's a huge glob. Well, at least it came out in a place where it'll hardly be noticed.
Yeah, Hollow, the hand pain, I don't think it's ever going to go away. It's just kind of a permanent part of my life now. But, you know, at least I have the option to switch hand after going through the effort of learning to use the other one. Okay, I'm going to take a quick bio break. I will be right back.
Bio break? Oh, I get it. And this is my fully assembled Preator. I'll try and get it in focus here. Yep, occupational hazard. Okay, the stream's on my end is about 10-20 seconds behind. There it goes. Yeah, I'm liking the way he came out. I'm glad I have a Preator now. Yeah, so I do, if you haven't noticed, I do have the pieces for the second Preator that came in the box set. I don't think I'll be doing him on stream, but I'm glad I was able to get him assembled. I know I just put his next layer on, but I can still take a look. The top part of the body's layers have dried pretty well, but the legs definitely need some more drying. I think ultimately he'll just need one more layer, and then I can one more layer, and then I can start on the lines. Well, aside from this hair here, these are going to be his pieces. And yeah, I haven't touched the arms or the pauldrons or even the backpack or the bolter. Where'd the bolter go? I just had it. Oh, it's right there, kind of blended. But yeah. So, but yeah. I'll definitely do the final assembly off stream and the painting the arms off and backpack off stream, but it'll be fun to have this guy finished, and I'll put the finished post on there. I think since I have time, I will, and I'm running out of time, I will do my next Inktober drawing. Yes, where I'm at, I only have about 40-50 minutes left before the Inktober drawing's done, so I need to get it done now. So. Oh, I'm glad you found your Phyraxian stash, or how you pronounce that. Okay. I think I know what to do. It's kind of a rough drawing, but I don't have a lot of time to be super detailed.
I am back.
Welcome back.
Thanks. Oh, just in time to see that Hollow finally got found his Phyrexian stash.
Yep. And I have started on my Inktober drawing since we don't have a lot of time before the day's up.
Good idea. I don't think I'm gonna be able to finish this whole thing tonight. I'd been hoping to, but I'm just not moving.
Yeah,
It was an overambitious hope.
I understand. One could be said the same about my model too.
Okay, time to switch hands. You know, haven't touched Photoshop for years, and yet I still find myself reaching for some Photoshop shortcuts.
That is pretty something. That is something.
I would say it's amusing.
Okay. I'll use this ink tool again. The V308FP, I think it's Zebra brand. Yeah, Zebra brand fountain pen.
I like Zebra's pens.
That's a very good pen.
I've been using their pencils and their pens for at least since I was a teenager.
Ah,
Do you remember much of that? How I was like always buying those metal zebra pencils?
I honestly don't remember.
We had another friend back then, and so the three of us like to do drawings and share them with each other. And I started using the zebra mechanical pencils,
Ah,
and our other buddy was like, "Those look so cool. Where'd you get them?" I was like, "Walmart." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Yep, nothing. You can get these fancy looking pencils at your nearest Walmart."
it's nice when you can find something good locally.
And I'm a big believer that like the the tool does not make the artist. The artist just knows how to use the tool. Puts in the time
Right,
to effort to be able to use any tool. That said, there are definitely higher quality tools than others.
for sure. I've definitely been finding some of the ink tools I've been using don't work as well.
Okay, let's get this other side. So right here on this kind of chest section, this is a good example of like where I am with my development as a left-handed artist. So you can see on this side the lines are coming out smoother than they were on the other one. Not that the other ones look bad, but I struggle to make marks going this direction more than I struggle to make
Ah,
marks going this direction.
got it.
The thing about learning to draw with either hand, honestly, is muscle control. You've got to
Oh,
figure out how you need to use your muscles, and then you've got to build the muscles that'll let you draw. And it's actually not the same muscles you use for writing for most people.
right. It is definitely a learning experience.
All right, so once you finish your Inktober drawing, what are your plans for streaming the rest of the week?
I will be streaming another Inktober drawing on Thursday, and then I may or may not stream at least one bit of the new FGO event coming out tomorrow. If I do, it's just to get a feel for how I should go about recording it, because as I've mentioned in one of my own streams, it's for my channel's growth. I have to change my approach to FGO content, so I won't. I'm not gonna try and stream as much unless I know I can knock the content out pretty quickly on stream.
I think that's
Otherwise,
a
I'm
good
just
idea.
Otherwise, I'll record it and upload it.
One thing I would like to stream at some point in the near future is Fate Samurai Remnant.
Oh yes, I would like to stream that as well.
Finally got to start playing it, and it's pretty fun.
You did?
Yeah, I finally got to start playing it.
Oh, that's great. I know one of my favorite servants is in the game.
Musashi?
No.
Uh, Jean Alter?
Nope.
She's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Yeah, so the servant in question is Circe.
Oh, I didn't realize Circe was in the game.
Yeah, she was in one of the trailers. She turned the main character. Oh, yeah, I'll let you come across it when you see it. But yeah, she is in the game. Yeah. Recently because of the game, she was up on Raid Up, and I was able to MP5 her because I just needed one more copy.
Nice. MP5ing is always a good feeling. Yeah, although I genuinely didn't know. I did not see that trailer. That's all right.
And making some mistakes on my Inktober piece. Kind of. This may be the first piece I have to fix digitally. Though I'll put the unfixed version up on the Discord.
Let's see how this is coming along. Okay, that is looking pretty nice.
Not bad for an improvised piece. Well, they're all improvised, but one where I had very little time to work on it.
That does look pretty good. Yeah, you were definitely running low on time.
Yeah.
I probably will not be streaming the second part of this image, but
Actually, there is something I can do to fix this. Courtesy of my new paint pens. Actually, no. Still making mistakes. In a different way. Well, maybe I can use it as an opportunity to do something a little different. There. May make the proportions wonky, but orcs aren't very proportional as is.
orcs are proportional. They're just orc proportional.
That's kind of my point.
You're gonna hurt the orc's feelings.
I don't think his feelings can be hurt, given how much he's enjoying his ride.
You're probably right. Alright, what I will do is slap some quick colors down on this side of the image and erase a little bit of this background stuff that I don't need anymore. I like to leave some of it because it creates some nice under texture.
Ah. Day 10. Right. There. Nice. There. So, yeah. As far as minis are concerned, because it's not just Inktober, it's also Orktober, said that's usually when Warhammer 40k painters all around paint up orcs. I am going to paint up orcs. We got the 3D printer up and running again, so we're going to try and get some orcs painted up to paint up for this Inktober.
Let's go ahead and multiply for this one. Hopefully it'll be fun experience.
Yes, and I'll finally have some orcs to do some poses with my salamanders over there. Especially this Praetor who I finished assembling while you were gone.
While I was having my my break.
Yes. You'll be able. I'll post a picture of him on the Discord. Speaking of, I can post a picture of this guy.
Trying to cheat a little bit and use a textured brush to help speed up coloring this just a tad.
Yeah. Ah.
All right, this is kind of a blackish gray wrap. Then let's get that red spot. Nice bright in the middle. Kind of darker along the edges.
Now that that's done, let's check this guy out.
I think I'll call it in just a couple more minutes.
Yeah, that'll give me enough time to put one more layer of yellow on this guy.
Right, so he's actually going to have kind of more silver and purple in this, but I'm going to use kind of the red as an undertone. Do I still have that? I do, right there. It's kind of neat how the colors like mix with that kind of purpley ink that's going on underneath.
Yeah. Having a similar experience, seeing how the base layer of metallic pink is really helping make this yellow work. So it's fun how colors mix that you wouldn't have ever thought otherwise mix until you try it or see it someone else do it.
Silver purples.
Yeah. If I had more time, I would have. I'd say this. Well, he is ready for the stripes, but it just don't happen on stream. But yeah, I will post the finished product on the Discord. So be sure to join the Discord and watch out for that.
Get a little bit of purple in there. Not quite so dark. Well, I've got an underpainting at least.
That's good.
Next time I'll come in and try to add some highlights to these and start bringing out the shadows and stuff.
Oh. Well, at least I got all the paint on him. As for you, creator.
Alright, I think this is where I'm going to have to call it for tonight.
Yeah, I'm about to finish myself.
While you're finishing up that, I'll just briefly talk about my plans. The plan is to finish up this video over this week. Tomorrow I need to finish recording the drawing part of it, and then I'm hoping to take that and create an actual video out of it that I can share on Monday. So please look forward to that.
Yeah, I will be, and as for me, I may or may not stream tomorrow, but I will be putting up content for the new FGO event regardless. And on Thursday, I will be streaming my next Inktober drawing on there. Well, I'll be doing drawings between then, but I'll be streaming one on Thursday. So be sure to watch out for that.
All right, Joseph, any last things you want to share before we close up?
Yes, just that miniature painting has been quite the experience for me. It's definitely filled a void I didn't realize needed filling for me. And being able to draw as well and share my art for making comics and Geektober has been it's been pretty nice. I'm glad for that, and I hope people still join me for that on my channel and to still come and see me have fun playing role-playing games on Sam's channel.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Everyone have a good night, and we'll talk to everyone later, and I will let everyone know when this video is done.
All right. Good night.